Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Cornelius. So in the last video we covered operators in Python. Today we are diving into strings. So strings is a primitive data type in Python that we use all the time. We use it to represent texts and even sometimes numbers and symbols. Basically, a string is a sequence of characters enclosed inside quotes. So it does not matter what you put, as long as it is surrounded by quotes, it is a string. So let's see an example of a string. I do print hello world, and when we run this, we see hello world. This is a string. We can also assign this to a variable, right? So we say greeting should be equal to hello world. Then I can also create a username. Username is equal to Cornelius, which is my name. And remember, you can create string using single quotes, right? So I'll say my pet is a dog. All right, my pet is a dog. And when you print pet, excuse me, so you get dog. All right, now we can also create multi-line strings. So a multi-line string is a string that spans multiple lines, and the syntax is using triple quotes. So I can say hello everyone, Python is fun. So when we go ahead now and print this, we have a message that spans multiple lines. So when we run it, you get hello everyone, Python is fun. Of course, Python is fun. But let's remove this print. I don't need it. I want everywhere to be clean. So let's have a word that I'll use as example. So we have word, and I call it let's call it Python. Why not? So Python. Now remember the definition. I said a string is a sequence of characters enclosed inside quotes. Now we can track each of these characters individually by using something called an index. So starting from the beginning, the index starts from 0 to the end. So P is at index 0, Y is at index 1, T is at index 2, H is at index 3, O is 4, and N is 5. So to print element at any given index, we use the variable name, then we specify the index. So I'll do print word at what character should we print? Let's print H. So to print H, P is 0, Y is 1, T is 2, then H is 3. So when we run this program now, you get H. Now we can also print elements at the last index. All right, or we can print starting from the end. Let me put it that way. So to start from the end, you use negative. So we say word element at -1. All right, so when we do element at -1, you get N. And we can also print the element at the beginning, starting from the end. So since N is at -1, O is at -2, H is at -3, T is at -4, Y is at -5, then P will be at -6. So let's print element at let's print P starting from the last index. So we do -6. So you get P. We can also do what we call slicing. So slicing is when we specify which parts of the string we want to print out. So it's kind of printing out a substring, right? So let's just print THO. All right, so since T starts from, what is the index of T? So P is 0, Y is 1, then T is 2. So we'll start from 2. We want to stop at O. So H is 3, O is 4. Now if I put 4, what do you expect to see? We got only TH. Why? To be able to print the last index, we need to be able to print the element at the last index that we specified, we need to offset it by 1. So if we want to print O, we will stop at index n, so that way we offset it by 1. So I'll say 2 raised to 5, and now when we do it, we get THO. So we can also perform other operations on strings. So let me create 2 other variables. I'll call this hello, and b will be equal to hello John. Let's just do it John. Right. So now we can print the 2 together. I'll do print a plus b. When we do this, you get hello John jumbled up together. So to put space in between, we can put an empty space. All right. So when we run this now, you get hello John with space. So when we use the addition symbol, we are not actually, or the plus sign, we are not doing addition in the sense of numbers. No. So with strings, what we are simply doing with the plus symbol sign is placing the values of both strings beside each other. So in this case, the value of A is hello. We put it on one side, then we put the empty space, which is also a string. We put it in the middle. Then the value of B, which is John, we put it on the other side of the empty space. Then we can also perform repetition on strings. So in this case, I want to print hello 5 times. So I'll simply say A multiplied by 5. And then when we run this, excuse me, you get hello, 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 hello. So then you can also check if there is something, a particular character inside the string. And we did this in the last video on operators. We call it membership operation. So we say print print L in hello in A. Right? Is there L in A? And the answer is true. There is L in A. But if we try to print, is there W in A? The answer will be false. There's no W in A. So there are also other things we can perform on strings that we call methods. So methods, the string and other primitive data types are classes in Python. So let's check something. I'll do print, and we did this in the video on data types. So we can say print type of A. So when we run this, you get class string. So this class means it has properties and methods attached to every string we create. Now, I'm not going to talk about class in this video because it's a little bit advanced. So, but later we're going to talk about classes. So think of every string you create as an object of the string class in Python. So for this reason, every string you create is able to access the method created inside the string class in Python. So when we take A, we can say print A dot upper. So to invoke a method, we use this parenthesis. So when we do print A dot upper, so every character in A will be turned to uppercase. So we can also do dot lower. So we do print B dot lower. Well, let's create another new variable. So I'll call it C should be equal to by. C should be equal to by. All right. So now we do print C dot lower. So it changes everything to lowercase. All right. Then we can also do C dot title. All right. So let's say we have another variable like D, which will be equal to, I will just ask a question, is Python fun? All right. So when we do title, what will happen? So I do D dot title. So it will make the first character of each word to be uppercase. That's what title does. Then you can also say capitalize. Now what capitalize does is it returns the first character of the first word to uppercase. So print D dot capitalize. So I want to print dot capitalize only the first word is. So the I will be made to be uppercase. So we can also check how many characters are in a string. So we do print the length of C. All right, so you get 3. The length of the word by is of course 3. So we can also do what we call strip. All right, we can trim a string. So let's take a and set it to another variable here called high, but we put space. So we do high and another 2 space after it. So here I'll do print a dot l strip. So the l strip means leading strip, which simply means the space before the character to remove it. And now when we print it, you see high, no space on this side. Now we can also remove the space on the other side, which you won't really see though. But let me print the word first before stripping it. So I'll do print print a. So you see there was space, and then when we do l strip, the space was removed. So we can also do print a dot r strip, and this will remove the strip on the right side or the trailing side. But of course we can't really see it because it's on the trailing side. Now to remove both at the same time, we can do print a dot strip. And once we do this, it removes the space on both sides, both the trailing and leading. So we can also check. Let me create another variable. I'll say a, or let's just use d. It's Python fun. All right, so I'll say print d dot find is, or let's say d dot find fun. You can use any one you want. And what do we expect to see? So it returns the starting index of the word we are looking for. So when we go back to variable d, you see, since we start from 0, so I is at index 0, 0, 1, empty space is counted. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So F starts at index 10. It prints out the beginning index. So we can also change. We can also replace any word or character we want. So I'll say print d dot replace. Which word should we replace? Let's replace is. So I'll say we put the word we want to replace first. So I'll say is should be replaced with yes. So when I run this now, you get yes, Python is fun. But remember, when we go out to print d, we'll still get is. Why? Because the change we made here is not permanent. So to make it permanent, we have to reassign the variable. So here we are going to do d should be equal to d dot replace. So now when we print d, we've permanently changed the value, replace the value. So now you get yes, Python is fun. So another thing we can also do is we can check strings to see what it contains. Remember I said in the beginning that string can contain anything as long as it's within quotes. It's a string. So we can have we say a should be equal to 100. Now 100 should be numbers, but because it's inside quotes, it's a string. But the computer is still able to determine if what is in the string, if it's a digit or if it is alphabet. So here we say print a dot is digit. All right, print a dot is digit, and of course we get true, because even though it's a string, the string contains digits. And if we say print a dot is alpha, which means it's alphabet, the answer will be false. A does not contain alphabet, it contains digits. So we can also do let me add a, b, c, something like that. And now we can say print a dot is alphanumeric, right? I think, wait, yeah, alphanumeric, and we get true because it contains both digits and alphabets. Now remember, its digits will now be false because it does not contain only digits, it contains alphabets too. So the last but not the least, okay, let's talk about something I did talk about in the data types video. So let's have two more examples. So I'll say A should be equal to 2, then B is equal to 4. Sorry, it should be string. So 4. And when we print A plus B, I'll set it equal to C. So A plus B. What do you expect to see? Print C. Now when we print C, you would get 24. All right. Now we know 2 plus 4 is not 24. It should be 6, but we get 24. Why? Because like I said earlier, the values of string are placed beside each other when we use the plus sign. It does not add them the way you would with numbers. So it simply places them beside each other. Now, if we must, you typecast them like we did in the previous video. Okay, let me just do that. I'll say int a plus int b. So now in this case, it has converted them back to numbers. So now you get 6. Then last but not the least, we are going to talk about f-string, which is one of the things I really like about Python. So I'm going to make a separate video where I talk about f-strings in depth. So f-string, let's say we have multiple variables. So I can say username should be equal to John, and user age is equal to 85. So the f string will, let me say user info. User info using f string will say my name is, whatever you want to input, we go inside the curly braces. My name is dash and I am this years old. Right. So the variable we want to use, we go inside the square brackets. So my name is username and I am user age years old. So user age. So now when we run this code, print user info. User info. So when we print this, you get my name is John and I am 85 years old. So we call this f strings or formatted strings, stuff like that. So that's all for this video. And once again, please, if you find this helpful, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me a lot. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.